All right, let's jump right into this one. Today, we're looking at a pretty incredible book called Dialog with Zoran the Dragon. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A dragon's guide to yoga? It sounds a little out there, right? But trust me, the story behind it is so deeply human, and it starts in a place you would never, ever expect.
And boom, this is the line that just hooks you right away. It immediately sets the stage for something so much bigger than a simple how-to guide. This isn't just about poses or breathing. The author is telling us this is a conversation with fate itself. So, how in the world does a journey like that even begin?
Well, every epic story has a spark, right? That one moment where everything changes. But for a story that promises a dialogue with destiny, the starting point is surprisingly and wonderfully down to earth.
Get this, a basketball court in a high school gym. Not some ancient temple on a remote mountaintop. A gym, a place that's all about noise and action and sweat, becomes the setting for this massive revelation about breath and stillness. It's just a powerful reminder that these huge, transformative moments can happen absolutely anywhere.
So here's how it all went down. It started with one single choice made by a 17-year-old kid who loved to surf. A simple 3-week yoga elective. That's it. From there, it just grew. He started going to a local yoga center, which, by the way, is incredibly still there over 50 years later. And eventually, even his mother joined him on this path. It just goes to show how one tiny, almost random decision can become the absolute cornerstone of a lifelong journey.
So for the author, these two worlds, surfing and yoga, they just collided and became one. And this table illustrates that connection perfectly. You have surfing, the outer world, right? The raw power of the wave, that constant, beautiful motion. And then you have yoga, the inner world, the rhythm of the breath, the search for stillness. These two passions weren't separate. They were metaphors for the fundamental dance of life itself.
So that initial spark on the basketball court, it didn't just fizzle out. No way. It lit this huge fire that fueled decades of travel and study and pure dedication. This wasn't just a hobby. It really became a true mythic odyssey.
And this really gives you a sense of the sheer scale of that journey. We're talking pilgrimages through India, deep meditation that crossed oceans, and this intense effort to fuse ancient wisdom with modern tools. But you gotta pay attention to the language here. Setbacks weren't just failures. He saw them as dragon's tests. Each breath wasn't just automatic, it was a conscious return to the flame. He literally framed his entire life as a heroic quest.
So after this incredible lifelong journey, what's the result? What's the treasure you bring back from a quest like that? Well, it's the book itself. The author presents it as the culmination of everything he learned. It's the voice of the dragon.
Okay, so who or what is Zoran? This is super important to get. We are not talking about a literal fire-breathing creature from a fantasy novel. Zoran the Dragon is an archetype, a symbol. It's the personification of prana, a core concept in yoga that means the vital life force energy that flows through every single one of us. So Zoran is the voice of that energy. And Zoran doesn't just lecture you. The narrative style is really poetic, speaking in riddles and rhythms. The whole point is to guide you, the reader, on a journey through the inner, energetic landscape of your own body, the mythic territory of your own potential. Yeah, this is a very different kind of instruction manual. And, ultimately, this whole story, from the high school gym to the mythic dragon, it isn't just about the author. It's designed to be a mirror. It all leads to a direct invitation for you to start considering your own journey.
The invitation is beautifully simple. It's a call to return to the breath.
To return to the myth and the epic story of your own life.
And finally, to return to the dragon that sleeps in your spine, that powerful, dormant energy that's just waiting to be awakened. And so we end with this. The author's journey started with a yoga elective, a single small moment that changed everything. And the book leaves us with this really powerful question to think about. What was your unexpected beginning? What was your basketball court moment? What was your first breath of truth?